Welcome back, my friends. This is Dr. Bill McBride, Sr., coming to you live from the city of Sacramento. We'll start off with a little introduction to this third episode. We're still dealing with the Love Club now, but this particular episode will be dealing with the answer. And I'll just play this little short, about 5 minutes introduction to this proceeding. Welcome back, my friends. This is Dr. Bill McBride, Sr., coming to you live from the city of Sacramento, California. This third episode is by far will be the most important and short episode that I ever could make. Around 3 a.m. in the morning, Father awakened me and started speaking to my ears, to my mind, and began to say, I am the answer. I am the answer. You all, humans, are full of questions, but I am the answer. So the subject matter today will be the answer. The answer. And I have the moon as our first object of looking at. And as you see the different moons or planets, notice the 360 degree. It's a circle. It's a circle. It's a circle that has such significance. Here goes. So the answer, I am truth. I am of truth. The I stands for invisible. The A stands for all. The M stands for mighty. The O stands for overwhelming. And the F stands for force. The invisible, almighty, overwhelming force. Truth. I am truth. The ABCs of timeless life. The ABCs of timeless life. We have 3 A's. You have authority and authorization. You have altitude and attitude. You have acceptance and appreciation. The B's, you're beyond boundaries. You are beyond beliefs. And you are beyond books. The 3 C's, complete. It's finished. Conclusion is absolute. Command, just obey. The Father has the answers, and all He's asking from us humans and humanity is obedience. Everything in the universe is in order except mankind. Help us, Father, to understand. All right. I'll conclude that introduction. And once again, the subject matter today is the answer. And that pretty much covered it in 5 minutes. But I'd like to go a little bit more in detail concerning that profound understanding that came and was downloaded to me at 3 a.m. in the morning. And I just wanted to put this last third episode on because myself and my sister will be flying out this coming Saturday, November 5th, to visit our 93-year young mother in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. We'll be flying back to Williamson, Georgia, to spend at least almost 2 weeks with our mother. And we look forward to making a few episodes with her at least. And we'll be trying to share that also with the Love Club. She has a saying that she is living from eternity while she's still walking in time. What a beautiful situation. And if all of us, all of his children can understand that reality, I'm telling you, you will have a life of victory and a life of power and just joy in your life. And you will get to see her. She's 93 and sharp. She's almost, I let her know I move around about 5 miles a day. Normally try to walk. And she'll get on the porch and she'll do her 30 minutes or 45 minutes and let me know that she's walking also. So God bless you. Goodness on display. As the subject matter we was dealing with is the answer. Many of us have many questions. We have opinions. We have problems. We have situations, circumstances. But we go to everyone around. We get counselors, and nothing wrong with that. If you need mental health, get mental health. But there's nothing like the answer. The I am of, the invisible, almighty, overwhelming force. And he said, I am truth. The Roman government asked Christ, what is truth? And his answer were, I am truth. And when you able to make a statement like that, and you get no rebuttal, nobody go any further, nobody asks any other questions, that lets you know everyone's not looking for an answer. Okay? But if you are looking for an answer, won't you go to the one that is the answer? Okay? And he shared with me, he said, Bill, I'm going to give you the ABCs of timeless life. But first I want to explain time life. Time life is the life we are currently physically and visibly living right now. We're bones and flesh, heart, eyes. We operate in our 5 senses. What we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we touch. The sense realm knowledge. It's hot, it's cold, it's whatever. This is a good environment, bad environment. You know, this is a nice thing happening. This is a bad thing happening. It's all in our physical time life, living in a form environment. And we're constantly encountering each other in the physical, okay, and the mental. But when he said the ABCs of the timeless life, I was like, wow, that is outside of time. Timeless. It's forever. He said, I'm going to give you just the ABCs. He said, I'm going to give you 3 A's, 3 B's, and 3 C's. I said, okay. And the first A he stated was authority. He said, I operate in authority, and I'm able to give you all humans in time my authorization to operate in time, to turn around circumstances, situations, and problems, and to change the atmosphere. So authority and authorization. The second A is altitude and attitude. This brings back a story when I was traveling, and I would go back to Bishop's T.D. Jakes' Manpower conferences and in Dallas, Texas, and I would fly back to Sacramento. And on one of the trips back to Sacramento, the father said, "Look out the window and just look down." And he said, "Look, man has got you on their aircraft, and then I'm taking you 40,000 feet up, and they got you above all the problems that's going on down there on the planet right now on the earth. You're above the fires, you're above the earthquakes, you're above the tornadoes, you're above the hurricanes, you're above gun violence, you're above everything that's going on down there. It has no effect upon you because you're flying over it. They got you in a cruising altitude, and you just flying over every situation, every problem, and you just going about your business, flying the friendly skies." And he said, "This is the point I want to make to you, Bill, that when you land in Sacramento, take a mental picture of what man enable you to see 40,000 feet up in the air." He said, "Imagine my view from eternity." And that's one of the reasons I don't get upset. That's one of the reasons I don't ever be frantic. That's one of the reasons I have the answers, because I'm in control of everything, and nothing surprises me, nothing shocks me, nothing. You don't have to ever inform me about anything. All you need to do is show up and just listen to the answers. It reminds me that the story of Adam in the garden, and the father would come in the cool of the day to speak to Adam. Well, Adam didn't go from the cool of the day to go speak to the father. The father initiated the interaction because the father's bringing answers. He's bringing challenges to Adam to see what I have given you, what you're going to do with what I've given you. Will you manage what I'm doing and giving to you? What are you going to name things? What are you going to call things? And all I ask you to do is not partake of this one tree. Now you can have all the other trees, deal with all the other things, but don't fool this one tree, because it's got contamination in it, good and evil. And I just want you to not fool with that. Okay? Well, you know the story. But we're going to stick with the ABCs. So the altitude will determine your attitude, how you see something, and then that'll determine how you're going to think about it. If you're on an ant level, you're thinking on an ant level capacity. That's why you want to accept the incorruptible seed, so you can start getting downloaded eternity thoughts and thinkings while we still here in time, because we all are running out of time. We all want to leave here, and it's no thing about rest in peace. That's a very bad term. It's FFT, freedom from time. So when a loved one, even myself, pass or die, it should be a great celebration that we had a moment in time to enjoy each other in the physical realm. So the attitude can change your altitude, but the altitude really can determine your attitude if you have the proper view. The final A is acceptance and appreciation. And I thought that was an interesting acceptance and appreciation. He said, "Bill, you all like to praise me. You've been taught in the religious circles to praise the Lord and worship and pray and do all these things." He said, "It's really not for me. I don't need it. It don't affect nothing you're doing in time is affecting eternity. Nothing." It's just not anything we could do to bother him. Now, we can do things to bother each other. And that's why we need the acceptance and appreciation of each other. If we can start praising each other based on goodness on display, that's the God. That's the God. The two gods. That's the God. He wants us to operate in humanity. Be goodness on display instead of greed on display. And you know there's three of them. Greed on display, governments of dominion, and governments of domination. See, that's what we're doing to each other, trying to control each other and cause the downward spiral of humanity. But we're going to turn this thing around and get a higher altitude and reach into the heavens and let the heavens download some goodness on display. And we can turn this thing around and possibly give us more time before it's just no more. And you either with the Father or you just no more. And no, I'm not going. He's not burning nobody in no hell. He don't have no hell. We the one that's raising the hell. We the one that's causing the chaos. Go look in the mirror. If you want to see a devil and you want to deal with a devil, go look in the mirror. If you're not operating in goodness on display, do you have some good in you that you can display to me and others? Then pour it out. Raise all the heaven you can while we can. All right. Okay, let's go to the bees. Now these bees is phenomenal. I just set up. I'm like, oh my goodness. He said, Bill, I'm beyond boundaries. I'm beyond boundaries. You can't hold me. You can't contain me. I'm beyond the timeless life. Timeless life is living in a formless eternity. That's timeless life. So in the B, the ABCs in the B section, 3 Bs, beyond boundaries. He said, you're beyond belief. He said, I don't need your beliefs. I don't care if you believe or not. I just need you to be able to hear my voice and simply obey. Now this third one is very interesting. He said, beyond books. He said, y'all like the best authors. Y'all like the best-selling authors, 1 million booksellers. Y'all just write books. And he said, great, fine. Talk to yourself. Talk about yourself. All your opinions, all your circumstances, all your problems. Write this book. Write that book. He said, if you bring every book on the planet, every book that man had anything to do with or translated or is a version of something, the best of our Ivy Leagues, university, colleges, universities, schools, high school, elementary, middle school, kindergarten, child care, whatever you're doing, if you bring it to me, it's all contaminated. Let's go to the C's. The 3 C's. He says complete. I said, well, it's complete. He said, it's finished. Timeless life. It's finished. It's complete. The second C, conclusion. I said, conclusion. He says, absolute. Conclusion means it's done. Absolutely concluded. Then the last C is command. He said, I don't need your opinion. I don't need your ideas. I don't need what you think about it and how you see it, because it depends on your altitude once again. So we have very low altitude to be making these sweeping opinions and thoughts about others. So he says, I give commands. And in giving these commands, it's one thing he's after. You just simply obey. It's all about obedience. If we would just, because he's not going to tell us anything wrong. It's like, I talked about my grandchild. She's 2 years old and she's just a loving child. And I'm telling you the truth. There's nothing I would do to tell her wrong and get her hurt. let her suffer. We just do everything for her mother and father, the grandparents, everyone. Just pour it on her, pour it on her. And we expect good stuff, goodness on display to come back out because we're doing all we can to be goodness on display. So I don't expect anything different to come out. She has her days, she has her moments, but so what? We have our days, we have our moments. So acceptance, acceptance, and appreciation. Appreciate the time we have. Love each other now. We're running out of time. There's so much death and destruction that's going on today. We need to really take time and appreciate one another because we don't know when we will be having freedom from time. And it's nothing to fear. Death is never anything to fear. I know it saddens, and I hear many situations. There's families recently. The Marshall family has lost their 11-year-old daughter. And I looked at that and I saw a beautiful face and so forth. And, whew, I have 6 daughters. So the compassion is there, the heartbreak. But we got to celebrate each other so when we move into freedom from time, that we know we have lived the very best for each other. We have given them all we have. And all we can do now is rejoice that we have had time with each other. Be it you young or be it you old. In the middle. Like I say, I'm so thankful to be able to travel this coming Saturday morning to go see my mother. I'm not worried about seeing my mother in the heavens. I want to see my mother. Right now I have eyes. I have ears. I have hands. I can touch her. She can hug me. I can kiss her. She's 93 years young. So I encourage everyone that's hearing my voice today to take time to love one another. Get back to loving each other. Quit talking about each other. Quit running one another down. If you ain't got something good to say, keep it to yourself. Don't raise any more hell. Raise all the heaven we can. I'm out of here. I'll see you at the next episode. Goodness on display. Bless you and keep you until we meet again. This is Dr. Bill saying bye-bye.